Good evening, greetings, Om Shanti. So, welcome all of you who have taken out time Sunday evening to attend the refreshing Sunday evening talk. For the benefit of, so how many of you have come here for the first time? Okay, so many. So, for the benefit of first time, say visitors, so I will introduce about Brahma Kumaris. Brahma Kumaris is a social spiritual international organization aimed at self transformation through Raj Yoga meditation, therefore bringing world renewal and transformation. The organization, it was founded back in 1937, headquartered at Mount Abu, Rajasthan, spread across 140 plus countries, with more than 4,000 plus branches and millions of people practicing Raj Yoga meditation. Now, the place where you are sitting, it is the largest retreat center in the South India, Shanti Sarovar, an academy for the better world. Here, many workshops related to meditation, residential retreats, meditation camps, various wings programs, IT wing, business wing, media, judiciary, these are conducted regularly. The regular feature of Brahma Kumaris is the Sunday evening talk, which happen every Sunday. And the topics of these talks are related to stress management, anger management, conscious living, time management, and many speakers nationally and internationally, they participate in this. Now, today's topic is, do you know what is today's topic? Conscious living for stillness within. So, to throw light on this topic, I would request our speaker to come on the stage. And we have the today's speaker, B.K. Ritu sister. She is a spiritual author of the best-selling book in metaphysics, Conscious Living. And B.K. Ritu sister, she is associated with Brahma Kumaris since 2007 and Raj Yoga practitioners for more than 17 years. She is a certified happiness coach and has been featured in many channels like ABP Live, Z Times, Music Spiritual, PM TV, and she has won multiple awards, including given some talks at TEDx event. So I welcome you, sister. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, and a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you. That's wonderful. So, let us all very lovingly together just say this: Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. So, one question before we really start the discussion. It's not going to be, one person sharing the wisdom. Definitely, I may not have as much experience of life as some of you may have, and so a lot of wisdom in today's session will come from all of you. So it's not just one speaker sharing some thoughts. It's more about you, about your life and your life's experiences. So today, though sister very beautifully introduced who I am in terms of what I do, but like I said, it's least important who this person sitting here on this chair is. Most important person in this entire hall, in this entire training seminar room is you. So before we start this interaction, what I want you to do is just reflect on couple of questions. Couple of questions where you reflect back to your life's journey, and then we see how today's topic or today's talk is going to be relevant. Is that okay? Great. So let's start. Little time for your own self. Your own time. Allow the chair to take your weight. And your body is very, very relaxed. your feet resting on the ground. And in a very relaxed state, let me look back at my past 1 week. Let me ask myself, how has the journey of past 1 week been? In your mind, slowly recollect some important moments and in those moments observe how are you feeling. What is your experience of past 1 week? Without any judgment, just allow and observe what comes to the surface of your mind. Very, very relaxed, very comfortable. Slowly, you could open your eyes if your eyes are closed. Yeah. So, all of us may have had different experience of past 1 week, right? Some of us may have had some really, engaging and high energy kind of week where there was a lot of work, maybe guests at home, some important deadlines that we may have had in our office. So, lots that may have been going on. And for some of us, it may have been a relaxed week. Not so much work, but a little relaxed one. Maybe it's summer vacation for some of our children, so parents may have gone out for a leisure. So could be very different for each one of us. Or maybe it's a summer vacation for our children, and so we have more to kind of look after. Yeah. So for each one of us, it may have been very, very different. Yeah. Now, what I want you to pick up in those experiences is, what was your feeling? How were you feeling in those moments which you thought are important? And just stay with that. You don't need to answer. You don't need to kind of share. But I just want to I want you to stay with that observation of your own feeling. Yeah. And on that note, can I request all of you to stand up? We'll do a little exercise. Yeah. Some of you have actually come by 6:20, 25, 30. You were here on time. So you've been sitting for quite some time. So let's take a couple of moments to kind of just energize ourselves back, a little movement. What I want you to do is, can you put your hand out like this? Yeah, your index finger pointing the ceiling. Okay, now what we will do is, we will put our hand a little up, pointing again towards the ceiling, and you have to move your hand in a clockwise direction. Clockwise direction, 12, 3, 6 and 9. 12, 3, 6 and 9. Continue to move your hand for a couple of moments. 12, 3, 6 and 9. Wonderful. Okay? Great. Hands down. Okay. Now what we need to do is, while you continue to move your hand in clockwise direction, just be sure that it's moving in clockwise direction, okay? Because that's the essence of this entire exercise. It should be 12 and then this side is 3. For me, this side is 3. For you, it may be other way around. So 12, 3, 6 and 9. Again, keep rotating, okay? And once you are able to observe that 12, 3, 6 and 9, slowly, while moving your hand in the same direction, slowly bring your hand down to your face level and then shoulder level and then your stomach level, and continue to move your hand till I say stop. Is that okay? Wonderful. Start. Your hand moving in clockwise direction. Okay. Hands down. Great. So I see some hands rotating in clockwise direction, pointing the ceiling. Okay, so your clock or your watch is being made on the ceiling. Some of us, while we are bringing our hand down, our clock is turning out to be on the wall. So, okay, no problem. It's obvious because we see clock only on the wall. We don't see it on the ceiling. So, it's a natural thing to happen. But just for this exercise, I wanted to be aware and move it in clockwise direction, facing upwards, not on the wall, facing the ceiling. Okay, great. Start. Your hand moving in clockwise direction. Slowly bring your hand down to your face level. Continue moving your hand to your stomach level. Slowly bring it down. Continue to move. Don't stop the movement of your hand. And now I want you to, while you continue to move your hand, just closely observe, is it moving clockwise? It's become anti-clockwise? How did it become anti-clockwise? Hanji? Reverse. Oh, it just went reverse? Is it? We were moving this way and suddenly we started moving and we started looking and... Okay, wonderful. Okay, yeah. What happened? How did it become anti-clockwise? Brother is saying it became anti-clockwise. Yeah. It did? How did it become anti-clockwise? Wonderful. Yes. We were looking upwards. We are now looking downwards. Any other thought responses?
Mirror vision.
Mirror vision. Yes. Okay. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Okay, that's wonderful. So I'm okay either way. See, I'm okay clockwise or anti-clockwise. You have to decide whether it is clockwise or anti-clockwise. Yeah. So I'm okay whether it is clockwise, anti-clockwise. Some of you said anti-clockwise, so I'm just asking how did it become anti-clockwise? For the ones who say that it's become anti-clockwise.
The view change, our angle of our vision change, the way,
Yeah.
perspective that we were
Wonderful.
looking at it changed.
Yes. What else? Any other thought responses? Very quick. Concentration. So my concentration was good here and then it became bad here and so my hand started moving in anti-clockwise direction, is it? Good. Very interesting discussions. Hanji? Oh, we lost the awareness. So what happened is we were moving clockwise and it suddenly became anti-clockwise because we got lost in the thoughts. Okay, interesting. Any other thought responses? Wonderful. Please have a seat. So good. Some really interesting responses coming in. You were absolutely right, sir, when you said that the hand started moving in anti-clockwise. The only thing is the hand didn't change its direction. The hand continued to move in the same direction. What changed is where are we looking? Above eye level and below eye level. When we look above the eye level, the same hand moving in same direction, it seems clockwise. And when it goes below the eye level, it seems anti-clockwise. It looks anti-clockwise. That's absolutely right. Some of you did share that response. Now, if we relate this exercise back to our lives, life moving in clockwise direction would be? Okay, as per what we want. Wonderful. Okay. Is it possible, all of us, you and I, all of us are experienced enough in life that everything outside, can it go as per how we want it to go? Is it possible? Wonderful. Okay. Yes. So outside, let's say even if I talk about my child, my own creation so-called, right? Can my child behave the way I want them to behave at all points in time? So we understand and we are aware. I see few of us smiling and laughing saying that, okay, good. So we understand and we realize that nothing outside can go the way we want things to go, right? Then how do we relate this to our lives? Life to move clockwise. Any thoughts? Life's experiences clockwise means peace, happiness.
The flow of life.
Right.
be interrupting
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
perspective bigger, like how you can
Uh-huh.
keep it clockwise while looking up.
Wonderful. Yes. So life moving in clockwise simply means experiences of, my life. So life and life situations, there are two things. Okay, ma'am very beautifully said everything when it goes as per I want life as clockwise. So here what we are doing is there are two things. One is life and second is life situations. Life is the experiences that I'm creating at every moment. And situations is everything that's happening outside. So I want you to think about and reflect about one thing. Life situations and experiences. Let's say if situations go up and down, if situations are not as per me, does it happen that it has an impact or it controls our experiences of life if my child doesn't behave the way I want my child to behave? What is my state of mind? Or let's say back in office, I have a team of let's say 5 people. I have 5 team members, and there is certain deadline that has been given to them, and we expect them to deliver the project on time, but it doesn't happen. You see somebody coming in late, somebody taking leave, even when there is some critical project, which is happening. At that point in time, is it that the situations start, it just becomes one life and life situations. Today we say I'm feeling stressed because there is a lot of pressure outside. It's a very common statement that we use. So what is happening is today, because we've mixed life and life situations, our experiences of life totally depend on everything that's happening outside. Clockwise is peace, happiness, love, all of these experiences that we look forward to in life. These are the experiences that we want. When we are sitting with our loved ones, we want a very compassionate, a very loving kind of conversation. When we are with our team members, we want a very respectful kind of equation that we have with them. So life's experiences, we are actually looking for clockwise experiences. But at times when we mix or we confuse life to be life situations, our experiences of life anti-clockwise. What could be anti-clockwise experiences of life? Disappointment, okay. Frustration, yes. Hurt, okay. Stress, Hanji. Anger, rejection, sadness. Oh, I seem to be getting a long list for the second one. That's interesting. Irritation, yeah. Irritation, yes. Helplessness, yeah. Okay, Hanji. Being cheated, yes. Betrayal. Now let's go back to the past week. Okay, and let's reflect how many of these emotions, anti-clockwise emotions, did I create and experience through the past week? And how many of these, the clockwise experiences, how many of these and for how long was I able to create? So again, there is no right and wrong answer. We are all humans, we are all in our journey, we've all had our experience. So it's not about right or wrong, definitely. It's definitely not about, who is better or who is not. It's just about wherever I am today, how can I bring a little shift? That's the whole discussion all about. So I'll tell you my own experience, when if I talk about my childhood and my growing years, I'd been a very, very extra, oversensitive kind of child who would just end up reacting to everything, even little things I would end up reacting, getting angry, getting upset about. Yeah. So from that journey, till today, I think there has been a little shift, and that shift is what I'm going to share with all of you today. Yeah, and the only thought or the only purpose behind this interaction is how do we, all of us together, not just you, it's including me, how do we actually go to the next level of reaching that clockwise experiences? Yeah, so it's not about right and wrong. If it was about right and wrong, I don't think I would be the person sitting here, because like I said, in my childhood days, in my growing age, I'd been the most sensitive person who would end up reacting to little things. The situation would be very small, but my reaction would be huge because I would get so much hurt so easily. Sometimes it happens with us, we end up reacting, especially, it's a very interesting thing to note. We don't get as much upset with people we're not so much connected with. Yeah, but people whom we're really connected and close with, even little things that they may say could hurt us big time, right? And we could really feel upset and sad about it. Yeah. So now, how do we create that gap between life situations, everything that's there outside, and the life, which is my own experiences, outside situations and inside situation? How do we create that little gap? Do you think it's possible to create that little gap? It's possible. How is it possible? So let's say I give you my case study. Okay, like I said, it's not going to be one person sharing some great wisdom. It's about all of you. So let's take one case study, just as an example. Okay, a child who's very sensitive. You tell little things to them. Little thing, you could just tell them that you didn't do well in this, or something like that. Just one statement, and they could feel extremely upset about it. So now, how do we bring about that shift? How do we create that gap between, for that child to be able to realize that it's not you whom we are kind of, it's just about one quality or one aspect or one situation which didn't go well, and we're giving only feedback about that. How do we create that gap? Any thoughts around that? And so that the child is able to not, is able to create that gap and so not react immediately. Yeah, let's think about this. Let's deliberate, discuss about that aspect of our life, because I think somewhere in our journey, if we are able to just pause, yeah, sometimes these reactions are so instantaneous and so intense that we are not even aware while we are reacting. It's only after we've said something to our child or our spouse or our team members we feel, oh, इतना नहीं react करना, इतना नहीं बोलना चाहिए था, गलती की होगी, they might have done something wrong, but maybe I could have dealt with it in a different way. Sometimes we feel that, no, for ourselves, but that instantaneous reaction is what we need to see if there is a way to work around. Yeah, and for that we'll do a little exercise. We have a slide which is with us. Yeah, so by the time it comes, I want you to think about it. How do we create that little gap in that instant response that just happens? इसके पहले वाली भाई जी, इसके पहले वाली. हाँ जी, no problem.
So right now we're more focused on the outside world.
Yeah.
We're so much focused, इसने ऐसा बोला, इसका ऐसा करना चाहिए.
हाँ जी.
I believe once we focus more on the inside.
Wonderful. Once we focus on the inside, yeah.
See it with that perspective, because we're blindfoldedly seeing the outside thing, judging it.
जी.
So we've messed up around life, situations, our consciousness.
Yeah.
Actually, we're not conscious at all.
Yeah, that's right.
Unconscious with the outside world.
Yeah, unconscious. Most of us, what I've observed very recently, most of us end up living our lives in the stories of mind. Lot that goes on in the mind. Even right now, while you're listening to me, I am hoping that you're listening to me, but just check if there is something that's going on in the background. Yeah, it could be something about, maybe an hour back, some conversation that we've had, or maybe something that's going to happen after this. You'll go home, 8 o'clock, there's somebody who's expected at home. And so it could be anything, but just check. Hanji?
Even this phone ringing sometimes.
Oh yeah, some phone ringing, okay. So I'm not even aware there was some phone ringing, but yeah, sir says there was some phone ringing, right? Okay, so you have 10 seconds. I want you to read what you see on the screen. Your time starts now. Okay, and stop. Great. So thank you for that. The question that I have for you, don't worry, I'll not ask you what did you read and what did it mean. I'm not going to ask you that question. The question that I have for you is, normally whatever we read, the content that we read either on our mobile or in a newspaper or a book, how different was this text? Without the space. So because it was without the space, what did it do to you? Confused. Okay, you were trying to guess, you were trying to find out the meaning, right? So because there were no spaces, we got confused. Did it take longer for you to read? The pace was slowed down, right? We were not able to read it very fast like we would have otherwise done. Anything else? It was time consuming. You had to assume certain words, you weren't sure about it, but you had to make assumptions and guess what's written. So that's one. Anything else?
Give us the time, 10 seconds. So we're trying to just.
वंडरफुल, दैट्स एन इंटरेस्टिंग ऑब्जर्वेशन. मैम हमारी गलती नहीं है, आपने 10 सेकंड दिया था. अरे 10 सेकंड्स में कोई कैसे, एक तो आपने स्लाइड इतनी बुरी बनाई. Nobody, yeah, somebody in Shantivan should teach sister to make slide, as she doesn't even know how to make slide. ऐसी स्लाइड कोई बनाता है क्या? और ऊपर से 10 सेकंड्स. Yeah, so
That means probably, I just realized that maybe when we don't have gaps,
Yeah.
or pauses,
Yeah.
or silences or reflections in between,
sure,
it just messes things up.
Sure.
And we're not able to.
sure, wonderful. So coming back to the slide, Rituban needs to make better slide, is it? So we'll try that. Okay, now Ritu, wonderful, good sharing. Continue sharing because that's what is bringing, the essence of the entire session. So think about it. Now that you've given me feedback, I'll try and change my PPT skills a little bit. So we'll have the second slide and we'll come to what ma'am was actually sharing. You have 10 seconds again. Yeah, pause, done. Okay, let's close the PPT. We don't need PPT any longer. So very simple exercise, right? What did we do? The second slide. Since you gave me that feedback, I took that feedback very lovingly from all of you and I created some spaces. Okay, spaces at the right place. What else? Apart from space, did you observe anything?
So we were very easily able to connect.
Slide, yes. What difference did you observe in the slide?
Easy to read.
Okay,
Now you gave us the space.
correct. One is spaces. What else? Hanji? Punctuations. For example, comma, full stop, everything was there. So spaces were there, comma and full stop was there. Anything else that you observed? Okay, we were aware. We could clearly read it. Wonderful. Anything else? Words were jumbled this time? The earlier time they were jumbled. So many of them and it was so jumbled.
We could read it in a more relaxed and more consciously.
Yeah,
We could read it. We were
yes.
confident that we are getting what we are reading.
Yes.
Earlier, we were just reading and trying to,
Yeah.
connect the dots. But this time it was such an easy flow with those.
I really like the way ma'am is expressing because she's not just saying words, she has those expressions and those emotions also flowing, which is wonderful, because this is how exactly our state of mind works. Okay? In everyday life, this is how we experience situations. Okay? Now, if we, go back to some psychologists and some studies that have been done in mind, they say in a day we have about 45,000 to 65,000 thoughts if we are in a normal state of mind. Now how do they measure it? A thought is created, it touches brain waves are created, those brain waves can be measured. Frequencies, vibrations can be measured. There are scientific equipments that do it, right? So they calculate the number of thoughts that we have and basis that they say that almost when we are not too stressed or too upset, we have about 45,000 to 65,000 thoughts a day, which means every 1 or 2 seconds there is some thought. This Rituban sitting here coming from Mumbai thinks, oh, she's so great, I'm talking here and all of you are listening. But imagine every 1 or 2 seconds, you may actually have some thought in your mind, which I may not even know. I think you're looking at me, you're listening with some thought. And it's nobody's fault. It's the way we've programmed our mind. And imagine if on a day I am little upset. Just go back to our last week. If there was any situation which made me angry or upset, the number of thoughts go higher, which is called beta or beta plus state. Right now, when I'm talking, possibly I may be in a beta state. If I'm upset, nobody listens to me. What is this? Nobody, or some, it's already 6:30, nobody is here and I'm upset about it, for example.
We start predicting, so there are a lot of
Yeah.
things when we said we started thinking
Yes.
ऐसा होता तो
ऐसा होता तो,
ऐसा होता
हाँ जी, absolutely. When we are thinking about all these assumptions, ऐसा होता तो ऐसा नहीं हो जाए. These are all state when we are, in beta plus state, which is very, high number of thoughts. And we are not even aware, 1 or 2 seconds thought. This is where our life's experiences turn out to be slide 1. What it does to our life? Very simply, no gap, no full stop and no comma, meaning, let's say if I'm going out somewhere, I'm going for work, let's say 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm 8:30, I'm leaving for office, for example, I'm just about to leave, and somebody at home said something which I didn't appreciate, I didn't like, I'm just leaving for office. They could have had this conversation maybe in the evening, why in the morning? So I started my day with that kind of experience. And then through the day, it's going on in my mind without a full stop. Now a question that I have for all of us. Yeah? The person, whoever it could be my mother-in-law, it could be my spouse, it could be my child, it could be anybody, my daughter-in-law or anybody around. Yeah? They said something which I didn't like and I left with that state of mind. And through the day, that feeling persists. Okay? That feeling is there. And I'm not feeling good about it. होता है ऐसे mood off हो जाता है. Our mood is not good. We don't feel good about it. We start feeling low or we start getting upset and angry. Yeah. One question that I have for all of us sitting here, and that question is, that person happened to say it once for, let's say, 2, 3, 4 or 5 minutes. And then those sentences, they put full stop because I left. Okay, 5 minutes. Maximum. It is usually a 1 or a 2 sentence which we kind of, get upset about, and then it's over from their side. Okay, it goes on in our mind. They said it once. How many times in that entire day did I repeat that sentence for myself and created that emotion? Now, who is to be blamed? They said it once, I said it 15 times. Who is more responsible? And what do we end up saying? मेरा आज मूड ठीक नहीं है because you said this. We do that? तुम्हारी वजह से, it's because of you I am not feeling good. We do that? Yeah. Now they said it. I'm not saying they didn't. We're not denying the fact that outside situation may be, not as per what we wanted it to be. But they said it once. How many times have I repeated and created? Because every thought leads to some feeling. Thought, feeling. Thought, feeling. Okay? Right now, sitting here, all of us could create a thought. Let's say, let's go back to last week that we had. Okay? Last 1 week. Go back to a situation where there was lots to be done. There are about, 10 or 15 people who are expected at home. Or maybe some really important, report that needs to be sent at the office, at work, yeah, to maybe top management or some senior leadership team, and we need to send it. Yeah. In that situation, I want you to be in that situation mentally, emotionally, in that situation for next couple of moments. Being in that situation, I want you to create a thought which you normally do, all of us, yeah. Maybe I'm very stressed today. Is it a very common sentence that we use these days? How many of us have used this one sentence in past 1 week? I'm very stressed. I'm not feeling good. About anything, it could be anything. We have done this, we've used this sentence and we use it. Even kids today we see, very stressed. And we look at them and like, acha, इत्तू सा छोटू एकदम very stressed. I'm not happy today. Yeah, so these lines have become very very common for us these days. So in that same situation, be in that situation, and I want you to consciously, deliberately, purposefully create that thought, I'm very stressed. वैसे in this environment it's difficult to feel that kind of stress, but still I want you to make a little effort and create that thought, I'm very stressed. Now, did you actually feel that change in the energy of the room when all of us collectively created that thought? Just try and observe the experience that we've had for last half an hour and this 1 minute where we thought, I'm very stressed. Collectively the energy starts changing. Now, I want you to be in that same situation. Okay? Just look at yourself in middle of that situation and create one thought. All of us together, and I want you to feel it, experience it, and see what changes within you and outside you. Yeah, these are experiments that we are doing right now. I want you to create just one thought. Whatever the situation outside, I'm okay. I'm relaxed. Did it change anything?
Yes.
Yeah? What did it change?
I felt detached, emotionally numb, and delayed processing of emotions.
Delayed processing of emotions, wonderful. Anything else?
Happy,
You felt happy, that's wonderful.
in control.
In control of our own emotions, yeah, that's great.
It was suffocating when I was in stress.
Yeah, so it's suffocating. When we say I'm stressed, the immediate experience is suffocating. Okay, and now? Happy, relaxed, wonderful. Yeah, anything else? Breathing pattern changes, wonderful. Breathing changes immediately. Stressed, you have that shallow breathing. Yeah, and as soon as you create that one thought, I'm relaxed, deep breathing automatically starts. We don't have to do anything. That's the effect of thought on our body. Yeah, wonderful. Any other thing that you observed? Thought, feeling, experience. Thought, feeling, experience. It's a cycle which is going on entire day. And I think they are responsible, that situation, this person, everything else is responsible for how I'm feeling. But it's thought, it's my own thought. They said something, it was their statement. How I picked it up, processed it in my mind that they shouldn't have. Why shouldn't they have? Question? I'm not saying whether it is right or wrong. I'm just saying who gave me the authority to say he should have or shouldn't have. We talked about it, right? Nothing outside is anyways in our control. And understanding that each person around us has had their own journey and experiences, and whatever they are doing is right, is appropriate as per their journey and experiences. Yeah? So they shouldn't have or this shouldn't have happened. What am I doing? I've automatically given the control of my experiences from clockwise, anti-clockwise. It's the easiest way to shift from clockwise to anti-clockwise when we say unki wajah se, or because of this, or because of that person. So bringing
Compartmentalization of emotions, that means anger on one person, I should not take on another person.
Yeah, that's also very important. Actually, see, if it's there within, that's a very interesting perspective that you brought out, brother. But I'll just bring out another thought from this. Whatever is there within me will automatically be received by people around me. Let's say if I go out of this beautiful campus, I walk a little ahead, and there's a little girl at the signal, and she says, "Didi, 2 rupiya de do. Can you give me 2 rupee?" What will I do? I will look into my purse. I have maybe 5 or 7 or 10. I need maybe 2 or 3. Okay, I have 2 extra. Here you go. Right? I will be able to give what I have. Now, if I say that I need to compartmentalize, anger which is within me, I need to compartmentalize. You're right, I'm not saying no. It's something that we need to do. But let's say at work, I have been, I was very upset with my team. There are things which didn't go well, and we had a lot of arguments, or maybe with our boss or our HOD or something that happened, and we had a lot of arguments, and not so great day for me typically. I come back home, I know that I don't want to shout at my child. Agreed. And I don't, because I realize that detachment is there, that compartmentalization is there, and I don't. But do you think it comes out in some form? Does a child realize आज मम्मा ठीक मूड में नहीं है, आज पापा ठीक नहीं है, they're not okay today, it's better to escape, right? They realize. Why? Because what's there within us automatically flows. And at that point of time, even if I've done everything, but because it's within me, even little thing outside not as per me can trigger it. And then we say it's them who are responsible. So I compartmentalized, it was team member, I said something to them, but now I'm saying to the child because the child is behaving in a certain way. But can we understand whatever is there within us will automatically flow? So the effort is, can we create experiences which are clockwise? And when we have those clockwise feelings and experiences within us, we don't have to make any effort to give it to other people. Don't have to make. That'll also automatically flow. If I ask all of us sitting here, if I ask anybody of you, we're working so hard in our lives, right? We're doing so many things, whether it is our work, our family responsibility, so many things that we are doing. One question: for whom are you doing all of this? Ourselves and family. How many of us say we are working so hard because we want to give a good life to our children, to our spouse? How many of us are doing everything? So then, yeah, most of us, we're doing it for our family. Now the same set of people whom we say we're working so hard, and because we love them so much, is it that we give them anything opposite of love anytime? And what is that opposite? Anger, okay. Disappointment. What else do we give? Irritation, we give them irritation. Hanji? Fear. We shout at them, so then they kind of listen to us, so we're giving them fear. Now the question. I say I love them, but at times, I'm not saying all the times, but at times I end up giving them all of this. Why? That's what I have within me. And how is it that I have all this within me? Coming back to thought, feeling, experiences. Same cycle. These experiences are actually, getting stored in our subconscious in the form of emotions, feelings. And these experiences which are stored in our subconscious, they are like, actors who are there in the backstage. So there are some actors, for example here, let's say if I'm sharing some thoughts with you right now, and maybe after this we have somebody else who will come and share some. So they are waiting, once Ritu Bahan is done, we will come and share our thoughts, right? These emotions which are stored in our subconscious are exactly like that, backstage they are waiting. As soon as they get some space, they are there. They don't take our permission, they just come. And we're not even aware. If I ask you, where does this anger come from? I don't want to get angry at my child. I don't want to, maybe shout or yell at my team member, or, don't want to kind of react to things. Where does this reaction come from? Okay.
The past experiences that we accumulated.
Yeah, the past experiences that we've accumulated without even knowing, they just come at that point in time. And that's where creating that gap. The second slide that we saw, creating those spaces in our thought processes, which only means slowing down our thoughts a bit. Slowing down our thoughts a bit. Creating those spaces. We discussed about 45,000 to 65,000 thoughts and maybe sometimes even more. Slowing down those thoughts. Putting a full stop. They said one time, I will not repeat it 5 times. Full stop. Imagine how our life experiences can change if we are able to do that. Yeah, and that's where conscious living plays a very important role. Conscious living? Yes. It is right now not in our control because it's happening in an unaware way. The moment I become aware. So I'll just give you 10 seconds. Let's do one exercise. Ma'am brought up very beautiful point. We're not even aware that it's happening. Yeah? What I want you to just do is next couple of moments. I just want you to become aware of what's going on at an inside level. Are we ready? Your back little straight but relaxed. Yeah? Once again, little time for your own self. Away from everything outside. Slowly, just become aware of your thoughts and your feelings. Don't hold or stop any thought, just become aware. No judgments, no good or bad, just become aware. Okay, you can slowly open your eyes. What did this awareness do? It made you feel relaxed. Wonderful. Anything else? Okay, you jotted down. Okay, good. Okay. Slow down our thoughts. Wonderful. So awareness, just becoming aware of our thoughts and feelings. Sometimes, we say we're not feeling good. Now that feeling is an indication that we are thinking about something which is making you feel like that. So sometimes when we are not aware of what we are thinking, because it's so much auto, like ma'am said, हमें पता ही नहीं हम सोचे जा रहे हैं, because we are so much used to living in the stories of mind, the mind keeps thinking, right? So the moment I become aware, what am I thinking? You will see the first thing that happens is your mind slows down. Because आपने देख लिया ना, you're looking at it, so then it pauses. So not much effort. It's a pause. Yeah. Now let's move ahead. The first thing that we did is we became aware of our thoughts and our feelings, and immediately you see that gap being created in your thoughts. Yeah. Now next step. That's the first step, okay, of conscious living. Now the next step. Next step, what I want you to do is, again, we will take a couple of seconds, and I want you to kind of program your mind that you will neither think about the past nor about the future. Okay? Now past could be anything. Past could even mean a second back. Past could even mean a minute back, an hour back, a week back, a month back, a year back, and some of us have become really expert these days. Even 10 years back, some situation that had happened and that person comes here in front of me and I can create all those emotions. Past could be anything. Yeah. So I want you to program your mind only for 10 seconds to not think about the past, not think about the future, and just see what happens. You ready? Great. Your back straight again. Very, very relaxed. Slowly, I program my mind to not think about the past, not about the future. Observe what remains. Just observe. Okay, come back. One question again. Did you have much to think? It was blank. Creating those spaces. What was your experience?
Mind stop.
Mind stopped. Okay. Hanji? Peaceful. Suddenly we realize we have nothing to think. I mean, we are thinking so much and we think we have to plan and we have to do this and that, and suddenly we think, अरे कुछ बचा ही नहीं सोचने के लिए. We have nothing to think at all. That's the magic of living life where it is happening. Living in the moment. Where is life happening? Is life happening in the past? Is life happening in the future? Life is actually happening in this moment, this moment, this moment, every moment, moment by moment, life is happening. And I'm busy living in the past and the future. Yeah, so conscious living, 1, becoming aware of your thoughts and feelings. 2, living life where it is happening, in the moment. I'll tell you one very interesting study again. These psychologists, they're very helpful to us. So, one study that they have done, they said that 98% of these thoughts that we create, 45,000, 55,000, whatever, okay, 98% of these thoughts that we create are wasteful thoughts. You've read about this, right? All of us may have read. Today, internet, we have so much information available. 98% of these thoughts that we are creating are wasteful thoughts. Imagine a factory where a product, everyday products are being manufactured, and 98% of the products don't qualify the quality test. Right? That's what we are doing to the factory of our mind by thinking about the past and thinking about the future. Living in the past. Forget about thinking about it. We actually live in it sometimes. So, there may be a chance that you may say, okay, all that is okay. Philosophically, whatever you're saying is fine, but we definitely have to plan, right? It's not possible for us to not think about future and not plan. Okay, agreed. Can I ask you a question again? What is planning?
Planning. How to make our goal set.
Wonderful.
Structuring.
Okay, great.
Projecting the future as per.
Okay, projecting, okay. So, let's say my goal or the structure that I have to create is, after going back from here, I have to prepare some meal. That's the goal. So, said we've, some end goal for which we have to work. So, that's the goal. I have to prepare meal after I go back. So, planning is I need ingredient A, B, C and D. I don't have ingredient B. While going back home, on the way, I'll pick it up from the store. Planning. Done? Yeah? Living in the future, or those 98% thoughts, what are those thoughts? I don't know if they like food. What if the quantity of salt is not right? What if again they say something? This is living in the future. Planning? Yes, definitely. Living in the future is what comprises of those 98% thoughts. Now you would also say, how about learning from the past, right? We definitely learn from past. What is learning? Just think about it. What is learning? So typically learning is, I'm just rushing a little bit because, we have little paucity of time, so I'll just kind of little bit, but definitely wherever you would like to share, you can definitely do that. Learning from past typically means if this situation, similar kind of situation comes up again, how will I react or respond differently? That's learning. What is it that I would like to do differently is learning. Why did this happen to me? Why they keep saying such things to me? So here, instead of objectively looking at it and picking up the learning, I'm creating the same emotion which I created in that situation and living that emotion. Now that's living in the past. Now 98% of the times I'm actually doing, and it's only 2% planning and learning or execution.
Sometimes living in the past could also be reflection so that you reprogram your behavior so that you become better.
Absolutely, that's learning. How would you want to, let's say if my boss has a habit of picking up things that are not great in the presentation, and sometimes I get really frustrated saying that we work so hard and this person always criticizes, and there are times when we just react to his or her criticism. Okay, now this time I decide that next time he kind of criticizes or pinpoints something which is not right, I will not react. Learning. Yeah? Why does he keep saying all of that? So what I just need to do is check. From that 1 week observation that we've done, I just want you to relate. Where are we? I'm not saying all of us do it, okay? Not everybody lives in past, not everybody lives in future. We've all developed our own patterns. So these are general, overall kind of study, what study shows us. But each one of us, basis our experiences, have created our own patterns.
Sometimes you have to take decisions.
Yeah,
And also you have to visualize how the future will look.
that's right.
And then while you're taking a decision in the present, you think about the future.
Absolutely.
And your past experiences,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
affects the decision.
that's right. That's absolutely right. That's again learning from the past and planning for the future. We look at the future, we see. So that's those 2% which are useful, which we need to think, but that we need to kind of put in that energy and effort. We definitely do that. Yeah, so that's important. You're absolutely right, ma'am. When we say that, we need to think about what we need to do, plan, all of that is important. But study says that's only 2% of what we think. So what about those 98% thoughts? Which make us, live in the stories of mind, unaware life. Have anybody of you experienced this or heard this? Just check if the gas knob is switched off. Yeah? Maybe you might have said this to your child or somebody at home, or somebody would have told you. Or maybe a situation where you say, just check if the door is locked properly.
Yes, water machine also check it.
Yes, that's true. Now, again, a question, okay? How many times has it happened that you check if the gas, let's say if 100 times we've checked if the gas knob was switched or turned off or no, how many times was it done? Mostly 99% of the time it is done. While you're doing that action, why didn't it get registered here? Because the mind is so busy, occupied in those 98%. Imagine a life where you're living life in the moment, living every moment, fully, completely. How would our life's experiences change? Will it change? Yeah? Again a question, okay? What is a beautiful life? Luxury life, okay. I have all the luxuries in the world. I have a dream car and everything that I could, wish for. But every day in the morning, wow. Then is it a beautiful life? I'm upset. Today I could sit in my BMW and really be unhealthy. Yeah, like we saw, right? Our thought. Doctors also say that most of the diseases today are psychosomatic. lifestyle diseases, psychosomatic effect of our thoughts on the body. Yeah. So imagine a life where we are able to create right thoughts. How different our lives could become. And imagine what can we give to our generation which is coming up. Today we are lost in our thoughts and they look up to us and they learn the same thing. And today because they are learning from us, because they're getting that environment every place they go, they are deeper into all of this. So what are we giving to our next generation also, right? If I look at my parents, I really feel they had much more resilience, they had much more stability than we had or we have. And possibly what you could also be observing is the resilience and stability that you have, the generation coming up maybe struggling to even reach there. How about a world where all of us, forget about the world there, world here, all of us start living in aware life? Can it change the world? I don't know. Will it change my world? Yes. Will it change something for my child? Yes.
And stop blaming and complaining.
Yeah, yes,
Proper
yes.
communication.
Yeah, yes, yes. And for that, first step, like we discussed, is just becoming aware of your thoughts and feelings. That's an initial step. How does it help? Because we are so much living in the stories of mind, it'll help you come out of those stories and live life where it is happening. Aware of thoughts and feelings, living in the present moment, and third step is most important for conscious living and to create that stillness within. Okay, but before I reach there, what these first two steps would do is, let's say if I'm driving at a highway and I'm driving at 120 kilometers per hour and I have to take a left, what would I do? Slow down my vehicle. Okay, what if I don't slow down my vehicle and I take a left? Chances of accident is very high, losing control of my vehicle, and I'll maybe just end up meeting an accident. Now there are times when some of us may have tried meditating, yeah, but while my the vehicle of my mind is moving at 120 kilometers per hour and suddenly I want to take a turn, becomes a bit difficult. And then we say it's very difficult to meditate. Or we say, have you heard this or have you experienced this? The time I sit to meditate, that's exactly the time when I get most of the time. Otherwise, I'm okay. Otherwise, I'm fine. But when I start to meditate, yeah, that's because we are driving the vehicle of our mind at that speed and suddenly we want to take a turn, and then we meet with an accident of the mind saying that so many thoughts and feelings which we never wanted to see. These are all those memories which are stored in our subconscious mind, which just comes at the surface and we are not able to see because we've not healed them. That's again another subject altogether, where everything that we've stored, all these memories, unwanted memories that we've stored, kind of heal them. If we don't heal them, what we are doing is they just come to us when we least expect and we don't know how to handle them. And one of the times being meditation. When we sit to meditate, all those memories just come at the surface and we don't know what to do with them. It's very difficult today for us to sit with ourselves. If I've observed the time when we say we'll just sit with ourselves, what we end up doing? Because we can't sit with ourselves today, because there's so much in the memories which we've not healed. And meditation, what it only does is slowly starts healing those memories and those emotions.
Before healing,
It surfaces, yeah. And we have to be patient and loving enough with ourselves to kind of, it's okay, this is what I'm feeling. And support from the family, allowing that person to, allowing them to kind of coming up with those emotions. And it's beautiful to see that so many of you have come with your family and your partners, family members and your partners. Because this journey, when it's along with your family, it's the most beautiful. Alone is beautiful, Because ultimately it's the inner work that we do, but when we have people along with us who are working on the same thing, it's wonderful. It's really beautiful. Yeah, so congratulations to everyone who's come with their partners and families. You're already very close. You've already started journey on a very beautiful note. Yeah. So first step, becoming aware. Second, bringing your attention to the present moment. Once you've done this, you've already slowed down the vehicle of your mind. Now there is that gap, that space, that feeling of relaxation. And third and most important, where the healing actually happens, is creating the right thoughts. What is that right thought? Very simple. Okay, let us all together for next 5 seconds create just one thought. Are we ready? Your back straight again. Very, very relaxed. Let us all sitting here in this beautiful place create just one thought. That thought is I am a peaceful being. I am a peaceful being. Peace is what remains. That is it. That I can feel very deeply in this moment. I am a peaceful being. Slowly, you can open your eyes, but continue to be in that feeling of peace. Thought, feeling, experience. Cycle, and these experiences is what gets stored in our subconscious. Every reaction that we have in our lives to every situation comes from our subconscious. Suddenly some situation comes up, the way we react or respond is basis how we've programmed our subconscious, and thought, feeling it very deeply, creates that impression on the subconscious. So if we want to change anything, any response or reaction in any situation, any reaction that you may want to change in your life, the way to do it is not controlling it. Controlling, you may resist for a while, but it may just get built up. So the way to again program our mind is by creating the right thought, right feeling. Deeper the experience, powerful the impression on the subconscious. Some of us have very strong impression of fear. Maybe fear of losing our loved ones. Maybe we've had some experience in the past, this lifetime, other lifetime, we don't know. Some of us are not able to trust our loved ones. Maybe we've experienced some form of betrayal at some point in time. Yeah, so all of us on our journeys have had very different experiences. And today, instead of working on controlling that behavior, can we create wonderful memories now through our thoughts, feelings and experiences? Like I said, deeper the experience, powerful the programming of the subconscious mind for that value. Yeah? So conscious living, aware living is nothing but living with these values of the soul, the being, which is peace, love, happiness, powers, all that we are seeking today may be in our lives. When we seek only when there is lack. If we are full of these values, you never seek. Today we say, thoda to shanti de do. है ना? We say, we expect them to respect or, talk to us lovingly. But just imagine, how do we talk to ourselves every day? Yeah? Which is in our control. Talking to ourselves meaning the thoughts that we create for ourselves. Can I accept myself? Can I just be loving to myself? It's okay. कुछ ऊपर नीचे हो गया, it's okay, no worries. It's okay, I'll do it better next time. And same with people around. Imagine how empowering environment can we have if we operate out of that. And that just requires little practice every day of what we are doing right now. See, we're not doing something very big. Okay, we're not sitting and meditating for like 15-20 minutes. No, not thinking. No, we are thinking. Because the work of the mind is to think. We will think. Mind will think something. Even if it's with a gap, even if it's a slow kind of thought process, mind will think, and it's okay. We don't want to stop thinking. We just want to create right thinking pattern and right thoughts. Yeah? So last couple of minutes that we have, what we do is, whatever we've heard so far, we will just sit with ourselves and churn and experience all of it. Are we ready? We just have a couple of minutes more. Very, very relaxed, very comfortable. Once again, little time for your own self. Away from everything outside. Let the chair take your weight. And your body is very, very relaxed. Slowly become aware of your thoughts. What is it that you're thinking right now? As you become aware, you observe that your mind slowly relaxes. Allow your mind to completely relax. As I do that, I am able to live every moment fully and completely. Moment by moment, every moment that's going, I am able to live each moment fully and completely. While you continue to be with yourself, let us all just create one thought. I am a peaceful being. I continue to be in that feeling of peace very deeply. And let us all create another thought. I am a happy being. Whatever the situation outside may be, I am happy, relaxed, stable. Again, let us all create a thought. I am a powerful being. I have the power to handle, to deal with any situation that comes up. I am a powerful being. I emerge these values of soul, of peace, love, happiness, and power. Just stay with yourself, just be with your breath, and continue to experience these values very deeply. Just be with yourself, just be with your breath, very, very relaxed. Om Shanti. All the time, no? I mean, it's not about what's around, it's about what's within us, right? So this is an example. So I'm in fact thankful to all the children who've come today. They are live example of how we need to start living, yeah? So thank you to parents. Don't worry if they're making little bit noise here and there. It's completely fine, yeah? So wonderful. I just forgot to mention that. So I asked a question to all of you. What is a beautiful life? So I think it's the right time to kind of answer that question. If I'm able to live this moment, like this little one here, fully and completely, happily, and then the next moment, and then the next moment, and then the next moment, collection of these moments becomes our life, right? So I don't have to work on making my entire life happy. Just make this one moment beautiful. Easy, simple, and that's what spirituality does. It makes our life very simple, simplified. No confusion, no first slide, nothing. Yeah? On that note, hope you have a great evening. Hope you have a great week and life ahead. Lot of good wishes to all of you. Thank you so much for your patient hearing and your wonderful sharings. Without you sharing such wonderful things, I don't think this would have been a great interaction. It is you who made this entire 1 hour so fruitful. So thank you so much. Om Shanti.
So as we come closer to this inspiring evening, we would like to thank Sister once again for the stillness that she has created. Can we have a huge round of applause for her? Are you feeling still? Peaceful?
I hope it's not sleepy, by the way. Yeah.
But yeah, I hope sincerely this talk would have helped you to inculcate an aware way of living rather than just having unconscious patterns that we live every day. And you should also be able to incorporate some profound yet simple and practical learnings about the functioning of the mind and how you can be more aware about it. So we are truly aware, blessed and aware also to have the privilege to listen to this insightful talk, and I am definitely going back to implement all the learnings that we are taking away from here, and I hope that you will also go back and implement it in your day-to-day life, how you can use it.